To kick off week 2, I wanted to cover another model, just to give you a comprehensive look at what's out there in the literature in reference to emotional response to injury, and just that sort of cognitive appraisal model, again, is the backing for this one. So this is an Anderson Williams stress response model, and it fits neatly into our study for week 2. And looking at this model, notice that we have the personality, the history of stressors, and the coping resources outlining sort of, again, what the patient is bringing to the table. And then over here, we have this potentially stressful athletic situation. Now remember, part of this unit is antecedents to injury. So the culmination of events that lead up to the injury occurring. When you think about being too busy in your car, for example, someone smoking or eating in their car and then getting in a car wreck as a result, those antecedents of being too busy or distracted in your car are what led up to that accident. So in the case of injury, this too can be the case. There's an article that I want to share with you. I'll put it in additional reading that talks about peripheral narrowing as a result of stress. So if you can imagine that patient in their work setting or in their athletic setting trying to perform and not being able to respond to all the cues in their environment. So consider that, and I'll post that again under additional readings or additional resources. So that potentially stressful situation then leading into and influencing that cognitive appraisal. This is not a risky situation, I'll be fine, or whoa, something's going to happen here, I'm in danger, impending doom, and then the physiological attentional changes that result from that cognitive appraisal of being overstimulated or feeling like you can handle that, and those resulting in an injury. So here's the input, potentially stressful situation, it could be athletic or otherwise, and then moving through this response to result in injury. Notice this bottom part here. This is you. This is you as a clinician, you as an educator, educating the patient, the student, whatever situation you find yourself in, on how to moderate stress in their life, how to get things in control. And I think the most common example might be no texting while driving. So that's an intervention that is utilized with people, the general public, to try to minimize car accidents, especially on high-speed roadways. So in thinking about this model, this is an older model as well. We're talking 1998 in this framework. And I'll post this online too so that you can reference it. However, mainly an emotional response to injury and injury antecedent is this model referenced. Okay, let's get going through Unit 2, again looking at Chapters 3 and 4 and really digesting what things that we can intervene on with the patient to minimize injury. And again, I made a comment about practitioners who might be in this role versus others who might be on the other end of caring for the injury role. So if you find yourself on the prevention side, and I think of ATs working for Boeing Corporation and in that industrial setting and making sure that the correct ergonomics are there, that's a prevention setting. Many of us may find ourselves on the other end, which is in that care setting. Either way, if we can minimize risk, or if on the other end we can minimize stress associated with recovery, it's a win-win. All right, looking forward to week 2.